Hi everybody, Brittany Hawes here, Chief Adventure Officer from Alpenventures Unguided, and welcome back to another episode of the A Taste of the Alps series, where we bring recipes from mountain huts in the Alps to you. As a reminder, I'm an adventure planner, I'm not a cook, and I've never made this recipe before, so keep your expectations fairly low. But we'll definitely have a lot of culture and a delicious dish at the end of this. So today we're making fondue à la tomate. That's a tomato fondue from the Valais region of Switzerland, which is the southwestern corner. This recipe comes to us from Tour du Mont Blanc, which is in Trient, Switzerland, T-R-I-E-N-T, and that's along the Tour du Mont Blanc, and we'll talk about all of that a little bit later. Let's get started though. The ingredients that you're going to need. We're going to need a little bit of olive oil, 3 cloves of garlic, crushed, 3 deciliters, which translates to 1.5 tablespoons of tomato juice, which I just have in a little cute little juice box here, and 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, a pinch of sugar, 700 grams, which translates to 8.7 ounces of grated raclette cheese, or a cheese that easily melts. So I have mostly Gouda cheese in here, and it's mixed in with a little bit of emmentaler cheese, which if you're in the US, you just call that Swiss cheese. I will say that there's a big difference in the taste if you grate it yourself versus buying already grated. Since fondue is all about the cheese, I recommend that you grate that yourself. Alright, then we're going to need just a little bit of thyme, which I have just a little bit of dried here. It's of course going to be better if you have fresh. And then we're going to have some cornstarch in there, a little bit of red wine, a little bit of grappa, which is a liquor from northern Italy. I think it's similar to brandy, and if you can't get grappa, I'm not totally sure. Salt and pepper, and then we're going to serve that with some of these baby tomatoes. These are already cooked. The directions say to cook them with the skin on, but then at the end we're going to remove the skin. So I'm going to just keep these warm for now. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to just heat up the crushed garlic a little bit. So I'm going to put some oil in there. Now you're probably going to use a garlic press for this. I have this fancy little grating plate that I absolutely love that I prepare my garlic on. Okay, so we're just going to let that heat up a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoons of tomato juice, which is also 3 deciliters. So typically in Europe, in my experience, these are used as tablespoons, just your normal large eating spoons. Then I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. And now we're going to add a pinch of sugar here. So we're supposed to bring this to a boil, which it looks like it's already more or less boiling. So then we remove it from heat, and then we gradually grate the cheese over and mix it into the hot tomato sauce. And I already grated this just for the sake of filming, but you could also just freshly grate it. Okay, so now that we have the cheese added into the pot, we're going to go ahead and slowly heat that up on low, stir it around, and we're also going to add the ½ teaspoon of thyme. I'm not measuring it, but that should be okay. I think a little extra thyme never hurt anybody, right? Okay, so while that's melting, let's go ahead and talk about the Auberge du Mont Blanc, where we got this recipe from, and also about the Tour du Mont Blanc. So the Auberge du Mont Blanc lies on the Swiss side of the Tour du Mont Blanc. Tour du Mont Blanc, also called the TMB, is probably the most famous hut hiking tour in all of the Alps. It's very well marketed. There are about 10,000 people a year who do this tour, and for good reason. It's absolutely spectacular. So the highest peak in the Alps is Mont Blanc, and this tour doesn't go on top of it because it's a technical glacier, but it circles around and takes you through France, Italy, and Switzerland. And along the way, something very unique about this tour is that you get to pass through a lot of different villages. So you have some backcountry feel, but you also have some villages along the way. This is really great for people who don't have a lot of experience in the backcountry and aren't totally comfortable with their navigation skills, or just not having access to a grocery store every few days. People who aren't sure that they can plan appropriately for the food and everything that they would need along the way. What also makes the Tour du Mont Blanc unique is that there are quite a few lifts along the way. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a very challenging tour. There is a lot of elevation gain, and it may not be the right tour for everybody. So if you're really experienced in the backcountry and you want a backcountry feel, you might want to go somewhere else. But for people who are just getting started or want a little bit of comfort along the way, you can also do the Tour du Mont Blanc entirely in private rooms and avoid dormitories. So that's an option as well. Whereas most of the hot hikes, you would have at least 2 or 3 dormitories along the way. So also available on the Tour du Mont Blanc is luggage transportation, which a lot of people take advantage of. Now, with that said, I just want to emphasize that while you're hiking 170 kilometers around Tour du Mont Blanc, if you get luggage transportation, your luggage is driving in a carbon emissions vehicle 450 kilometers around Mont Blanc. So it's not really an environmentally friendly option. And actually, you can really pack, since you're staying in huts that have food for you and bedding, you can pack light enough that it's comfortable for you to carry your backpack on the tour if you know what you're doing. And for that, check on our website. I'll put a link here. We have a free webcast on packing for the Tour du Mont Blanc. You can catch a live one, or if you get a free login onto our website, you can catch the recorded version of that as well. We also have a packing list and a shorter, more condensed YouTube video that covers that. So there's a lot of resources out there for you so that you can avoid the luggage transportation. But if that's really important to you, then that's there for you. So the Auberge du Mont Blanc is in the little village of Trient, Trient. And there's really only a couple accommodations. There's not a grocery store in this village, and it's right before, if you're going counterclockwise, which is the standard way around the Tour du Mont Blanc, then it's right before you pop back into France. It's a really quaint, really cute little village. And Auberge du Mont Blanc has really delicious food, as we're going to experience here in a moment. And they also have some private rooms available, which is really nice. So you can hop on our website to look at our Tour du Mont Blanc itineraries. We offer several. We offer 7-day, 8-day, 10-day comfort, which is the one that avoids the dormitory rooms completely. The 10-day standard, which is our best seller, I guess you could say, the one that most people book. And then a 15-day that's more relaxed, that has a rest day on the Italian side in Courmayeur. So check out those tours on the website. It's all self-guided, of course. And we have some videos. There's a little ladder section on the Tour du Mont Blanc. We have a video of that posted, as well as a digital flyover that will give you a really great idea of what the terrain is like, and it'll help you really visualize it. Okay, so as you can see here, we're getting really close, I would say. So we're gonna do the last couple of steps here. Okay, so we're gonna mix half a tablespoon of red wine with 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. So if you are a good cook and I'm doing anything wrong here and you want to make suggestions to other people, please feel free to leave comments. We also have quite a few more of these videos coming out. It's getting hot. Okay, now we need some grappa. Grappa is probably how you would say that. We need 2 tablespoons of grappa. Then we need some salt and pepper to taste. I think you're not really supposed to grate the salt directly over the heat because of the steam. I would say we have our fondue. Okay, so for serving, the directions say that you should take a few potatoes and cut them into quarters. It says to peel the potatoes. I am not going to do that right now. I think 700 grams of cheese grating was enough for me today. then we're supposed to put some cheese on top of it. And then these we'll just dip in later. So this recipe is going to be on the blog. I'll put a link to that in the description below, as well as a link to the tour and links to some of the videos also that we have of the Tour du Mont Blanc. We also have every year a couple of webcasts on hiking the Tour du Mont Blanc, so if you want to book it yourself, I strongly recommend that you hop into that webcast and cover the whole route and the different accommodations and where you can get food and briefly cover what you should pack. Wow. That is really good. I didn't even expect that. Oh my goodness, this is going to be an amazing dinner. I'm so excited. So good. Didn't even know that was coming. That is amazing. I will definitely be using this recipe again. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever you're doing. Don't forget to tune in next week. All right, thanks so much for joining.